Hey y'all, I'm Chris and this is it Worth It, y'all? And today we're gonna do something really cool. We are going to prep some meals for a friend of the family that needs a little bit of help, not financially or whatnot, but just time-wise, things going on in their lives. We are going to set them up with a bunch of freezer meals to make sure that that's one less thing they have to think about until all the things that need to happen and they can get back to their regularly scheduled program. So stick around, let's see what we can come up with some easy meals for the freezer so we can help out a friend. All right, y'all know the first thing I thought of? You guessed it, quiche bites. I'm thinking we do this first because you can eat these, they're grab and go. So let's get going on egg bites. These are high protein, easy to freeze. Pull one out the night before, zap it, and good to go. All right, let's go make that egg mixture. All right, y'all, we're breaking back into the water glassed eggs. We have used up anything that we have purchased from the grocery store, and now it's time to tap into the water glass eggs. Let me show you how they look. They're looking great. I've decided I think I break less whenever I just process these down here. So what I'm gonna do real quick is we're gonna wash 18 of these and get them upstairs to make these bites. I was like talking to myself, going, self, you know there's a sink down there, and if you just leave the eggs down there, you can rinse them off, toss them in a bowl, and then you're not carrying these eggs back and forth, because you don't have to worry about people using this bathroom, you know, unless you got company coming over. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So it's like, why don't we just put them down here? So that's what we're doing. There's 10. There's a teeny weeny one. I'm gonna do one for good measure. Actually, you know what? Let's go do an extra 6 because I know I'm gonna need more for other recipes, so I might as well just get 2 dozen processed. Ta-da! Put the lid back on so they don't dry out. All right, back upstairs. All right, we're back. And we need to get these cracked. All right, that was salt. Going in with a little black pepper. Fry up some pork sausage to go in these egg bites. Okay, let's do some assembling. What I want to do is, Greg and I like a bunch of spice, so usually when we're cooking, we put a ton of stuff in our bites, but these aren't for us. So we are just going to add a teeny weeny little bit of bell pepper. I mean teeny weeny compared to what we're used to, which is probably enough for an average person. We just like our veggies in our bites. Okay, let's see, that'll do. And then we're gonna come in with some breakfast sausage. And again, we're not making these for us, so we have to be mindful of the spice levels. So like when you're cooking to gift food, make sure that you find out what their food allergies are, and then what their likes and dislikes, and then you can go from there. So and then make sure you're spicing it, especially if you're like Greg and I, where we like our food spicy. Tone it down Try not to over season either, because that's another kicker. Just to make sure that the food is pleasant. Now, if they want, whoever's going to eat this, if they want to add spice, then, you know, obviously we can send them with a bottle of Cholula or Tabasco or something, or Crystal. So it'll taste good. I'm going to go ahead and do the cheese next. I think front loading these bites, we've learned, is just easier. It's less messy in case you overfill. So we reverse the, you'd think, oh, fill it up with eggs and then put all the stuff in. No, actually put all the stuff in and then put the eggs in, because the eggs are the liquid part. So the eggs will move around and cook all this stuff together. So basically we're just making little baby quiches. So, okay, I like it. I'll save this cheese for the next adventure. Let's go get the eggs out of the refrigerator. We are gonna pour in just a little bit at first. We'll give it a minute to sink in, because we should have enough. These are 18 eggs, so and we know from past experience that 1.5 eggs fits in each one of these. Okay, now that we have made it, let's go look at the ones that are empty. There's that one. There's our 18 eggs. Now, you know the drill. In the oven, cook till they're done, which is about 25 minutes at 350. All right, so our next project is lasagna, and we're going to use about 2 pounds of hamburger meat in this recipe. Okay. All right, here we go. We're doing this. We're going to add some spices to this, obviously. Salt, pepper, Italian seasoning. And we're making lasagna. All right, we're throwing in some salt, pepper, Italian seasoning. Okay, we're good. All right, everything's in. What did I do? Salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder. All right, so I do not have any ricotta in the house, and I'm trying to use ingredients that I already have. I'm trying not to go to the grocery store. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend mozzarella, some cottage cheese, Parmesan cheese, and some eggs. And we're going to make us a 3 cheese blend to use as the cheese layer in the lasagnas, because I already have that on hand. Look at those. Look how tall it is. Oh, they look good. All right, time to pull them out. Oh, so gorgeous. So gorgeous. I'm gonna let them cool off for a little bit, and then we'll pop them out and get them in the freezer, or get them in freezer bags. But they've got to cool significantly so they don't get ooey and weird. Man, those look good. I'm sweating, y'all. It's hot in here. All right, cottage cheese. Let's get into that. I think I can do these recipes. I don't think I have to go to the grocery store at all, which is going to be really awesome. Oh, the cheese we shredded. Oh, that's going to be a lot of cheese. It's going to be more than I thought. We should get some good layers out of that. I think I want to do another cottage cheese though, because I'm going to go ahead and make Greg and I a lasagna to put in the freezer, because why not, right? I mean, I've got the ingredients. I'm already making a mess, and that's how I like to cook, y'all. If you're already making a mess, just go for it. All right. Oh yeah, this will be good. Okay, let's put a couple eggs in there. Oh yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that egg. Egg number 2. Yep. Okay. Let's see if that's enough. I think I want to put pepper in here. The Parmesan cheese has the salt covered. Definitely don't need salt. Oh yeah. Yeah, buddy. Nom 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 nom. If you had white pepper, it'd probably be better, but that'll do. And I know y'all are like, oh my God, Chris, you put so much pepper. Yeah, but there's a lot. This is like a 5-quart bowl, y'all. It's halfway full of cheese. Okay. I like it. Time to assemble. Okay, I'm gonna use 1/3 of a hotel pan. I am using a store-bought sauce because I need to use it. So we're using the Thrive Market organic roasted garlic. And if you guys have Thrive Market, or if you've never tried it, you should. It's really good. And it's organic, so I'm down. Okay, I always like to put enough to cover the bottom. You do mine and Greg's too at the same time. So I keep it straight. There we go. Okay, that's plenty. Then we are gonna get some meat put over there. Let me grab a different spoon. I'm gonna take this over here. That way I don't dump it all over and I'm running out of counter space, so let me go over here and do this. The woes of a tiny kitchen. Okay, so we are gonna spoon in some hamburger mixture, seasoned meat into both. Now, I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I have difficulties and I make my layers too thick. What I have learned is put less in there so you can have more layers. All right, let's carrying you over here. Oh, sorry, you ran into the shelf. Okay, now let's do the cheese layer. Let me get another spoon. Ruh-roh. All right, spatula it is. Y'all, all my utensils are not where they're supposed to be. Okay. I'm juggling, y'all. I'm ready for a bigger kitchen. Oh, this is gonna be great. This cheese mixture turned out great. Look how pretty it is. Okay, I'm over here doing ours. All right, now it's time for noodles. Now I got these. I didn't think I'd like them. I mean, they're not organic or anything, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. But they're the ready to bake, oven ready lasagna. You don't have to boil these. You just like chuck them in. Here's what I like about the 3rd hotel pan. Look, 2 noodles, plop, fits perfect. And then we go again. And yes, this looks runny, but here's the catch. The skinny is the noodles are gonna take up some of this moisture, so it will not be runny when it is time to eat this thing. Okay, coming to get meat. Be right back. Let's do this one. Where's my other box? There it is. Don't think I have the same luxury in our little square pan. I think I have to break them. Yep. Sweet. And then we do the same. All right, I think we can get one more in here. I want to go one more. So this sucker is full. Oh yeah, we got this. I am gonna bake these off. I'm not gonna freeze them raw or uncooked. Raw is the wrong word. Here, I'm just gonna put the rest of this and then I'll top it with some more mozzarella. Because I don't wanna waste this egg mixture or this cheese mixture. Okay. All right, these things have cooled enough that I can actually touch them now. And so I want to remind everybody, and if you haven't seen our video on making these, I want to show you how just amazing this is. These are the jumbo. When you're at the store, get the jumbo muffin tins. And then these are the jumbo liners. Watch, you ready? Oh darn. They fly right out, look. And then all the stuff is in there. The egg has gone all the way around it. And that's your cleanup. Do you love it or what? All right, these still need to cool. They are still too hot to put in Ziploc bags. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get a cooling rack, a cookie cooling rack, set these on them, let them cool down a little bit more, and then we'll slide them in Ziploc bags and get them in the freezer. All right, meal number 3. One of my absolute favorites. One of Greg's absolute favorites too. We're gonna make beef stroganoff. Yay. And we're gonna use some ingredients from the pantry. Right now, y'all know I can a ton of chicken stock. And so what I like to use instead of water when we're boiling pasta is chicken stock, because it just makes everything taste better. So that's half a gallon. I'm gonna use a gallon of chicken stock. So good. It's already got oil in it from the chicken. We're gonna get this on the stove and get it boiling. Okay, next on the list, it is our attempt to continue to only use items from the pantry. So this is stew meat. So basically, it's what you would use for stew. We stuck it in a jar. I think we might have done a video on this. I'll have to ask Greg. I think we have. So this meat is already cooked, and it's just ready to be flavored up and used. Now this was a raw pack, so the juice that's coming out of here is the stock that the meat made. And I want to drain that off because we're going to put this in some cream of mushroom soup that I homemade that was in the freezer. And so this is 2 quarts or 4 pints of meat. That looks like enough. Or do I go ahead and do this one since I pulled it up? That'll get rid of all the old ones. And then the new ones should be in there. Not that they're old, it's just 2024. Oh yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. That's perfect. Because we're gonna make a couple of these. Because if I don't make Greg one, he's gonna have a cow. All right, so next on the list is we're going to make the roux and create the sauce for the meat using the cream of mushroom soup and a couple of other ingredients from the pantry. We've got chicken stock to a boil. This is an entire pound of egg noodles, so you will need a gallon of water because it's going to soak up a bunch of water. All right, we've got the egg noodles in, the beef is drained. This is about 4 tablespoons of olive oil, and we're going to put about 4 tablespoons of flour in. And this is where we get to start making our roux. And as you've seen us do this in the past, we just need to cook the flour taste out of this. And it's going to be a little different today because we're going to be using things like evaporated milk and cream of mushroom soup, and it's just going to be different. It's going to be good. Okay. I'm going to start adding evaporated milk in. All right, we are still working on our sauce, but I wanted to go ahead and zoom in over here. Let's get you zoom. Okay, our noodles are done. I'm gonna put those in. What I'm gonna do, since this meat is already cooked, we're gonna dump the meat in. And it's okay if a little bit of their juices go in. I am going to add Worcestershire. I'm gonna stir this up, and I'll let you see what it looks like in just a second. Because this part is ready, because all that meat is cooked. I don't need to do anything. And then what we'll do is so this meat will maintain these nice sized chunks, we will add the sauce in over top of it. Here you go. There you go. So to let that meat maintain those chunks, we'll add the sauce in and then fold it, because then we're going to add the cream of mushroom soup, and we're going to add some more spices. The lasagnas are out, and they look amazing. Now they're going to head over to the drying rack to cool off, because I really can't do anything with these because they're just too darn hot. Now we'll go back to finishing our sauce for our beef stroganoff. Homemade cream of mushroom soup going in. And then the secret weapon, cream cheese. Yes, please. Cream cheese. Juice it up with some W sauce, garlic powder, and some onion powder. Can't go wrong with a little bit more pepper. All right, y'all. This is done, and it tastes really good. I added a little bit of salt. Now, the goal is to get this into this pot without making an absolute mess. That's why I like to film all this stuff, so. If it's crazy, at least it's funny and it's documented. All right, where's my little, oh, there's my little thing. There's my little thing. All right, let's see if I can make this work and not dump it everywhere. Okay. All right, I'm gonna reserve some out just to make sure we don't overdo it, because these noodles will bloat. So what I'm gonna do is we'll do this. Oh, that looks good. Okay, here's what the noodles look like. I like that sauce level, and then what I'll do is I'll package up the other sauce, and then they can like add to it when it's time. Okay, I think this turned out great. Let me go package it up. All right, here's the extra sauce. I decided to put this third can of evaporated milk in it because I feel like I want to thin this out. That way when it's time for them to reheat, they'll have a little extra sauce to add to the top. And I just think with this, making the sauce a little bit runny is gonna be okay, because it's just adding into the goodness that's already there. So we're just gonna thin this out. Now we've got a little bit more sauce to work with when it's time to reheat. Egg bites are packaged. I always write the reheat instructions on the bag and a list of the ingredients so they know what they're getting into. All right, here we go. We've got, of course, we kept one. There's the lasagna. Look how pretty it looks. There's a beef stroganoff. I've got 3 take to work size and 1 be at home family size. So we're going to cover these up, saran them, and I'm gonna go stick them in the refrigerator and let them set, and then we need to rearrange the freezer so we can get these in the freezer after they cool down a little bit further. All right, y'all, the stroganoff has their tops on. I've got the reheating directions. Now I'm gonna move this to the refrigerator first, get them cooler, and then we'll transfer them over to the freezer. All right, we're gonna package the extra stroganoff sauce, I don't know if you can see that, in Ziplocs. And I just think that that is going to be the easiest way to lay these flat and freeze them with each meal. I know it's a lot of plastic, y'all, but I'm trying to make this as convenient as possible. Like, so crazy convenient. That way they don't have to think, they just have to like, just do it. The goal is to not dump a lot at once. These are for the small meals. And then we'll come in. Let me look and see how that, oh, that should be plenty. Okay. Now I'm gonna push the air out of these so they can lay flat. I'll just put them like this. I don't want them to go too crazy far. And spread all out on that bag. Yeah, this will be good. Then I can go like this, and each one of these can go on the top of each one of my single serves. Okay, y'all, it's the next day. I forgot my camera over at Greg's house. We made chicken for taco kits. So we are going to make taco kits as the final meal. And I know, please don't like freak out on me or whatnot, but this is gonna be a lot of plastic. But it's really, truly the best. Oh, I dropped y'all. Sorry. It's really the best way to make this work. So what I'm gonna do, oh, let me go get my filler bag things. Hold on. This is 4 chicken breasts that we previously processed and froze. And so we're gonna divide this up equally into 4 kits. So let me do this before I get my hands all dirty. And my hands are clean, but we're gonna just kind of eyeball it and make these kits up. All right, is that about half? Yeah, that's about half. So this is gonna be the chicken portion. Let me do 2 more. Let's see. Yeah, we're pretty spot on. Put that last piece over there. Wash my hands real quick. We will move on to the next messy thing, which is cheese. I'm gonna use sandwich bags for the cheese. And if y'all have not invested in these little stand things, I'll tell you what, they're pretty nice when you're dealing with stuff like this. I have a bunch more, I just didn't locate them. And we'll just work 2 at a time, it's not a problem. So fill these bags up with cheese and chicken. I wanna say I'd make the kits to where you can do at least 3 tacos. So just kind of judge it on what you think you would eat. This is a 1-pound bag, so I'm gonna try to put a 1/4 pound of cheese in each one. Because I don't know about y'all, but when I have a taco, I cheese it up. I got about a half a bag left. Yeah, these little stands are just another set of hands that you didn't have. It's great. And I can't remember where I got mine. I don't think I got them. Whoa, that's a bit much. Let's throw some over here. This guy looks a little light. Okay, now they look more even. We got 4 chicken breasts, pound of cheese. Now I bought a 20 pack of tortillas. So I think what we're gonna do is maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your 4 pack. Now I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get the little pieces of paper that I want to use to separate these because we're gonna freeze them. Okay, I have like what you call patty papers. Can you see that? They're called patty papers. And they're just these little bitty sheets of wax paper that in the restaurant industry are used for making hamburger patties. And then you can freeze a bunch of them on top of each other and they won't stick. So this is the big bag. Let me write on it real quick. Okay. So what's gonna go in here are the, what are those things called? Tortillas. Then we're gonna throw, I'm gonna try to flatten it out. We'll throw the chicken in there like that. Then we'll do the cheese. We'll flatten the cheese out. Get that in there flat. And we'll come in with the sour cream and salsa in just a second, but I'll assemble these real quick. And that way we get all this stuff out of the way before we get crazy messy. Oh, and did I mention why I'm doing this? This is so when you get ready to thaw these out, or even if you use this kit from Frozen, those little papers just help to keep those tortillas from turning into a big lump of tortilla. And I think I got my patty papers off of Amazon. Now what you're not gonna see in this kit is anything like fresh. So lettuce, tomato. I'm not putting any jalapenos or anything in here because I don't know how people like their tacos and I don't know their spice levels. So whoever gets this taco kit can add the fresh veg themselves or just eat it like this. Either way. All right, next two things we're gonna add are the sour cream, and I don't know if this will work with these bags. This might be too teeny. Ooh, maybe, wait for it. Oh, it did it. Oh, see, that pulls it too tight. Okay. This is gonna be the fun part. Maybe if I roll these, I may have to roll these bags to get this in here. Oh, that'll work, okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do, that's probably a good tablespoon. We'll do like a couple tablespoons of sour cream. Get that down in there. And then I can pull this up in theory and be able to seal it without, oh, that worked good. Now you got like your squeezable sour cream. Look at that. We're gonna lay it flat, push it flat, and that can go in the kit. All right, let me make four more of those. All right, now we're gonna use some taco sauce. And we're gonna do the same thing, I think. That worked out really well for the sour cream, so let's see if we can make the taco sauce do the same thing. I need to stir this up. And I think this is liquidy enough that I can pour it in the bag. So let's see. Oh yeah. That's good. I like these bags. Greg doesn't like them for snacks, but I like them because look, it's got measurements on there. So I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup of sauce. That can go in the bag like that. Okay, I like this. This is good. I was gonna use the little cups and I was like, wait a minute, I have those measurable snack bags. Let's see if that'll work. And I like this too, because y'all know whenever we freeze, I like everything to lay flat because it thaws out faster. So lay flat's good. Oh, this is working out perfectly. I am so excited about this. Okay, 2 more. Oh, these are gonna be so good. I think I wanna do these maybe, like if I'm out of town or something, and so Greg has an easy thing to pull out for lunch or whatever on the weekends. Okay, we'll use that jar too, that's great. Get that off the shelf. That one's a little full, but that's okay. Okay, there's 4. There's 4 taco sauces. There's 4 sour creams. Now let's get a kit and finish it. So here's our kit. We've got our tortillas, cheese, chicken. So then we can lay in sauce, sour cream. Lay that flat. There's your kit. All right, our lasagna is nice and cold and it is set up beautifully. Now what I'm going to do is cut this into 5s because I have 5 of these little packs left. I'm just gonna mark it. 2, 3, that makes that piece pretty big. Let's go. 1, 2, okay, that's better. So here's a spot. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4. Let me cut all the way through this way. Now what we can do is we can pull these out and put them in these individual tins. That way, whomever gets these, we're gonna do one serving at a time. I have found that unless you know that you're feeding a family of, 4 or whatever, you don't wanna leave the lasagna like this. We wanna pull it out like that. You can lay it on its side. You could lay it, actually I'm gonna do this way. This looks like it's gonna freeze better that way. Look, and it's an individual portion. That's a lot of food, y'all. This lasagna is really, really thick and beautiful. Look how it turned out. Look at the side profile on that. Isn't that pretty? And we're gonna lay these in these individual little portions. That way, whoever gets them isn't having to eat lasagna for a week. If it's 1 or 2 people, maybe they're not like Greg or I. Maybe they don't do leftovers. So we're gonna make this easy. No complaining, because all you're getting is 1 serving. Okay. And I like using these hotel pans, or these third hotel pans, because they're deep, and so you can really get a good stack on that lasagna. Look at that. Yeah, buddy. I'd eat that. Okay. Now we got to do foil and saran wrap and label. All right, there we have it, folks. We have our egg bites, our 4 taco kits, 3 beef stroganoffs, and 5 lasagnas. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 meals, y'all. That's pretty awesome. I think that was worth the effort, and hopefully these will be enjoyed and relieve a little bit of a stress on the individuals that get to enjoy these meals. So like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And until we see you on the next video, bye y'all.